Morning. Okay, good morning. Hi, Ten George Realty. Hope you had a very nice weekend. It was nice, although it's a little bit hot, but still a good, good weather to go out and do marketing and farming. The good weather doesn't last too long, okay? So take advantage of it. And I'm sure that everybody is waiting for the Fed meetings next week, Wednesday. They'll consider whether they're going to reduce their interest rate or not. It's widely expected that they will, at least 25 percentage point, hopefully 50 percentage points. The employment data came last week, and they were showing that a little bit towards the recession. If we don't have any surprises on the inflation, hopefully the inflation will kind of tame down a little bit. We surely going to have interest reduction. So keep our fingers crossed. I think there a little bit of interest reduction will help a long way with the real estate market because a lot of buyers are sitting on the sideline waiting for the interest rate to drop. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And nevertheless, hey, it's always a good time to beef up your business and go and do knock on the door or do farming or marketing. Okay, so good luck to you all. All right, and as you know that we are going to have Ann Cho to talk to us about the pitfalls, how to handle the escrow pitfalls with confidence today. But before we do that, let me introduce all the other affiliate first. Let's begin with Nicole Menard from Fidelity National. Nicole, good morning.
Happy Monday. Thank you, Peter and Michelle, for allowing us to join you. It's a pleasure. Good morning, all. I just want to reiterate 3 new calculators are now available in our Fidelity Agent app. So, for you agents that are on here and you have access to our Fidelity Agent app, please check out the true value analysis, the holding cost, and seller rent calculators. These are all phenomenal resources, and especially if you have listings and need to have a conversation with your sellers on price, these will help you with those conversations. And if you haven't checked out the calculators, if you need assistance and would like to schedule a time or a demo, reach out to me. I'm here to support you. Wishing you all a fantastic week. Thank you so much for your support. Have a fantastic Monday. Thank you, Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title.
Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, those calculators are terrific. So don't miss that. There's a good tools to for you to talk to your clients about it. Okay, so if anything you want to know about those calculators, Nicole will be very happy to help you. All
Peter,
right.
Peter, I'm so sorry. I have another meeting right now. Is it okay if I go
Okay, yeah, go
first?
ahead. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Unita Wu from Home Warranty of America, the 13-month home warranty. I just want to say hello. Happy Monday. We're here to help you with all your home warranty needs. Still 13 months. I do speak English, Chinese, Mandarin, and I'm Indonesian. So if you guys need any help, please send your client to me, and then I could be able to discuss home warranty directly with them. And also, we do have a lot of door hangers, flyers, holder, whatever you guys need, marketing material, please reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys, and I'd be happy to send them your way. Thank you again, Peter. I'm sorry for the disruption,
That's
and
okay.
have a great day. Thank you.
Anyway, do you have those available? So can you give us some to the November
Yeah,
office so that they can have
absolutely.
it when they need it?
Yes. What I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna go ahead and send it out to you today, and then I could get it from the warehouse's pack of 25, pack of certain things, so I could send it
Okay.
over. That's not a
Okay.
problem.
Sounds good, Unita. Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
All right. The next is John Wax. Good morning, John.
Thank you, Peter, Michelle. It is a blessing to be able to be here. Thank you for allowing us to be here and be a part of your team and your meeting. Just want to remind you that this is a time to push We've got about 2 full months left of solid pushing to get people in the mood, get them educated in order to think about buying and selling, or maybe get ready to buy or sell. And then you keep them in your list to follow up, because follow-up is the main thing. The other thing I want to remind you is order your Snap and HT reports up front. Even take it with you on a listing appointment, because there is no charge unless it closes. If it doesn't close, let me know. We cancel it. And we're talking about calculators. Right on our website, you can go right up to the estimator, click on it, and follow the prompts. And in seconds, you'll get 1 to 2 supplemental taxes plus the full tax for next year. It makes you look like a superstar. It avoids any problems later on down the road. And even though they're going to get a notice after the close of escrow of the prorated taxes 6 to 9 months later, they at least you've given them something to look back on. You can ask them to check their file, but even better yet, you could run it again and be able to provide that in an email or text it to them, because that's the key thing, guys. Keeping them knowledgeable, showing that you're valuable and that you can help them. I've been doing this for 31 years, and I'm looking forward to a successful close of this year. We're getting into the fourth quarter, not too far from now. The other thing is, we're the only one thing called the hazard preview. Once you register on our website, you can go right on the website, go into the ordering screen, put the information in, the street address and zip code, push start, and in seconds on the right-hand side, done by us, in-out determination for fire, flood, earthquake, seismic hazard. All that information is available at your fingertips. If you have questions, you're having any problems, reach out to me. I'm a consultant as well. And if you have the FHDS card form a problem, I'm an expert in it, and I can help you walk your clients through it. Remember, it's your clients who fill this out, not you. You're just a guide to it. And biggest tip, don't be a secret agent. Wear your badges, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you, because you never know where the next deal is coming from. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful next week. This week, we're into it. Monday's a good way to start. Thank you.
Thank you, John. John is right. Order the NHD and also the preliminary title early, because you don't have to pay for those reports until you close escrow. So the sooner you order it, the better you are informed and the better service that you give to your clients. So order them early, okay? All right. Thank you, John. All right. Next is Sandy Franco from First American Home Warranty.
Hey there. Good morning. Hi, 10 George, your first Eagle for this morning. Wanted to remind you guys that, as Peter was saying, the weather has been a little nicer, not quite as hot as the surface of the sun, but people won't know who you are if you're not out there in your territory. They just won't, right? So go out there. Flyer stands, door knockers, the clear bags that we have with the insert that goes in it, all free. Get your farm secure from your title rep. Make sure it's up to date and as accurate as it needs to be for you, so you're just not throwing stuff away at places where you don't need to be. Get the flyer stands, put a personalized flyer that we can give you for free at the dry cleaner, at the Jiffy Lube, where people are sitting and going anyway. Put your face out there so people know. There's a realtor that's been farming my neighborhood in Santa Clarita for as long as I've lived there. And I know her name because every quarter I get a note back. I'm not telling you. It doesn't matter who she is. Every quarter it's on my doorstep, right? She's out there. She's doing what she has to do. She doesn't know that I know 500 realtors, and it would really be, but if you don't tell people who you are, they don't know who you are. Yeah. If you're standing in line at the grocery store and you're wearing a badge that says you're a realtor, someone's going to say to you, "Oh my God, this market is whack," right? Because you've given them an invitation because your name is on your chest. You're already an expert just because of what you're wearing and hopefully, how you're presenting yourself with your name badge. Wear your name badge everywhere you go. You're always an agent. Oh, I mean, at home you don't have to. That's a you thing. But everywhere you go where you're going to see people, let them know who you are and what you do, right? Wear a name badge. It's that easy. We'll give you all the tools you need, but if you don't use them, it doesn't, we won't have a great end of the year. So we're here, even though I'm not here in person. Angie and Brandon have my stuff. They can get it to you same day. You need door hangers, you need bags, you need whatever you need. They've got my stuff. So if you reach out to me, I'll just pass it along to them, or reach out to one of them. They can always get a hold of me. Okay, have a great week, you guys.
Thank you, Sandy, for the good advice. Okay, let's hear from the second eagle, from the first American.
All right.
Morgan,
Thanks,
how are you
Peter.
today?
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, second eagle has landed. We are here to protect your nest. And for those of you who don't know what the eagle is, that is our mascot. Because we're first American, the American eagle, bald eagle, is America. There you go. I've had a few people ask me, and I'm like, yep, right here. There's the eagle. Okay, so real quick. Did anyone feel the earthquake this weekend? There was one in Laverne, 3.5. So 3.5 magnitude earthquake. This is always a good opportunity for you, especially like the fires going on, to reach out to your sphere, reach out to your clients, go to your farm, and just let them know there's these really cool tools and resources. Use the soft touches to get the conversation started, and then you'll have a great opportunity to talk about the market. The more you talk about, the more opportunities you will have. Like they say, it typically takes between 8 and 14 touches to finally get somebody to start committing. And so the more content that you can get from us, the more you're going to be able to have those opportunities to reach out to people. So like Sandy said, the power of First American, we have so many divisions and we work together, especially in our territory, because we want to be a one-stop shop for you guys. So whether it's our tax estimator, Sandy's door knocking materials, the stuff that Angie can provide you with getting those lists and farming smart, being efficient with your farming, those are all the things that are going to help you get more in business. Especially with that Ignite RE that Angie talks about, that is super helpful for you to find out who's most likely to sell, right? If somebody's been living in their house for the last 5 years, most likely they've refinanced, they have really good rates. But those who have been in their house 20 years, right? Those are the things where you're going to have more people who are potentially empty nesters or people that are looking to sell, especially those looking to leave the state of California. I've had quite a few clients selling their houses, moving to the East Coast, moving up to Idaho, Arizona, all those places. So please feel free to reach out to us for ideas on how to farm, what content to provide them. If you're looking for social media content and different ways to reach out to your clients, we have so many tools that I know Camellia loves our geologist. So our geologist actually has these videos. He did all the music for them, but they're great for you to just post on your social media. What he talks about is all the different aspects of the NHD report and all the things that your clients should be looking for, and just ways to be safe living in California. So I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, great. You're going to have a lunch with us, right? The next couple of weeks on the Ignite, Real Estate Ignite.
Yep, Angie's going to do that class, and we'll be there. So
okay, great.
Look forward to seeing everyone.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thanks,
very
Peter.
much. Thank you. Michelle, do we have any other
Yes.
affiliates in
Yes.
the training room? Yes, let's
Just
hear
a
from
second.
them. Please.
Yep. There we go. Good morning.
Yolanda, how are you?
everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Realty. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Yolanda Martinez Arenas, WFG National Title Company. I'll be starting my 44th year in the business next month. I can't believe it. I don't know where the 44 years went, but yes. And I'm with John Wax. I'm wearing my name badge. You're right. As a realtor, when I sold real estate, wearing my name badge, I got a couple of clients and listings. One time at a gas station, another time at a mall. It works. But I had a client wore a company, a shirt with the logo, and her son played sports. She picked up so many listings because she would wear the polo shirt with the company logo, real estate logo. And then people would approach her, oh, you sell real estate? Yes, I do. I'm thinking of selling or buying, and she picked up so much business. So just different ways of farming, but there's so many listings out there. I got a lot of calls this weekend and so far this morning, preparing for a listing presentation, or they got it and had additional information they wanted to know. So, just get out there and prospect. It's a very busy and good time. Please call me if you should have any title questions or needs, and have a wonderful and productive week. Thank you, Yolanda. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Yolanda. Great to hear from you. Okay, any more the affiliates in the training
No.
room? Okay. I guess that's all the affiliates besides Ann Cho. So at this time, I would like to introduce Ann Cho to you from Top Escrow, and she's going to talk about how to handle the pitfalls of the escrows with confidence. So Ann, go ahead. All yours.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Hi, everyone. So let me first share my screen. Hold on a second. Okay, if you guys can tell me, do you guys see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so just before I start, a little bit about myself. My name's Ann Cho, and I'm the CEO of Top Escrow. We have a team of escrow officers that are very experienced. We do everything from refinances, residential escrows, as well as commercial. We do bulk business deals. We do relocation assistance. We're very experienced. So always make sure you guys save my number. You guys can always contact me for guidance, or if you guys would like to open an escrow with me, I can assign you to an escrow officer to handle that for you. Today, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 escrow pitfalls and how to avoid them. I think if you have some of these pointers, it can help to essentially make the transaction smooth. Typically, the reason why we have escrow is to make the transaction smooth, but small mistakes can cost time. And, time with real estate is very important, including deadlines. So let's go over the top 5 pitfalls and how you guys can avoid them. Okay, hold on. Okay, so again, like I said, it's designed to keep transactions smooth, but small mistakes can cause delays, money loss, or failed deals. It could cause a deal to get die. So we're going to cover those right now. Okay. So the first pitfall is missing deadlines. So it's very important to stay on top of deadlines. So examples would be like late buyer's initial deposit, seller's delay on documents, getting documents signed and stuff in a timely manner. But some of the consequences in that is, one, that your client is breaching their contract by not complying with the time. As you guys know, typically an escrow or an earnest money deposit, if you don't have a specific date, the standard date is 3 business days. So you want to make sure that your buyer submits that money on time. And of course, if you represent the seller, you need to make sure that the other agent is on top of that as well. And let's just say they don't bring in the deposit and you have a seller that's very, into deadlines and stuff, essentially, then the contract is, essentially void, because that's part of the contract that they put in the deposit. Also, things like seller providing documentation to escrow as well as the other side. And of course, it causes breaches, cancellations, but of course, none of us like to be stressed during a transaction. So, we want to keep that to a minimum. So the way to avoid this is to use a transaction calendar and send reminders to everyone. Okay, pitfall number 2 is incomplete or incorrect documents. Examples are like missing signatures, wrong names. A lot of times in escrow, we'll get it's supposed to be a fully executed contract, but we'll be missing like a signature or an initial. and I'm pretty sure it goes the same with your real estate disclosures. Just always make sure the clients have all their signatures. Timing's everything too. You know, sometimes they may sign something and let's just say they miss the signature. Sometimes timing makes a difference. They may decide, well, why do I have to sign this now? But when you were in front of them at that time, you can get that signature done right away. Making sure their names are correct, especially when you're on the listing side, like Peter and them were saying, you guys should always try to order the preliminary title report like as soon as you're, you know, getting your listing. And that can prevent having wrong names. A lot of times some sellers will be like, oh, my name is Bill, but let's just say on title, it's really like Donald or, you know, something else. So getting that prelim can help you avoid that on the seller side. But again, making sure that, you know, the names are correct. Some of the consequences in those pitfalls are delays and potential legal issues, right? Because they missed a signature on something. So to avoid that, always double check your contracts and use escrow's checklist. So we can help provide you with the checklist as well. Okay. For pitfall number 3, I think we talked about this last week a little bit of the wire fraud. So wire fraud and money mishandling. So examples of this are fake emails with false wire instructions. I don't know if you're an agent, you may get a lot of phishing emails, but in escrow, we get it too, but your clients can get that too. So please keep them aware that when they're in a transaction, always to double check the email. If they have any weird feeling, to pick up the phone and contact you, the agent or escrow. But some of those consequences would be funds lost permanently. Recently, we opened a new escrow and the buyer was so hesitant about sending money over because this buyer actually experienced this about 3 years ago. And he had emailed his final funds to a wrong place. Anyways, he was lucky and he was able to retrieve the money back, but he told us that it took like over 3 years. So, you know, and the worst case scenario is that they do lose that money forever. So how to avoid that? Always verify instructions over the phone and educate your clients. So those are the ways to avoid that type of pitfall. Number 4 is poor communication between all parties. So examples of that are like repair agreements that aren't shared with escrow. So sometimes you guys do a request for repairs and no one has notified escrow, or because of that, you guys decide that there's going to be a credit. So the sooner escrow knows and we receive that fully executed like addendum or agreement, then we can right away in place prepare an escrow amendment and send it to all parties. So we make sure that everybody's aware. And sometimes that's when we find out there may be some miscommunication between parties. So leaning on escrow is, I highly encourage that, you know, always communicating. And sometimes we are the first indicator to know when like an issue arises from, let's just say a buyer or seller, because they're calling concerned. So when we find out, you know, we'll pick up the phone or send an email and let, you know, the agents and lenders and everyone know what's going on. But some of the consequences, like I had said, is miscommunication or misunderstandings, and then, of course, conflicts. The way to avoid this is always keep escrow updated and use only one main channel. So, you know, I would suggest email. Everyone does email or, you know, picking up the phone, but everyone nowadays uses email. But, you know, it could be that or like a group chat, however you guys decide what that one main channel is. And then the last pitfall are last minute changes. So example could be like the buyer, like right before closing, they're like, oh, I want to I want to purchase this property in a trust, or like late credits. So things like that can cause a delay. If there's a lender involved, sometimes then they have to resubmit the paperwork to the underwriter. They need to get it approved. Or let's just say it gets all the way to loan docs and the buyer sits at the loan doc table and says, you know what, I want to, put it in a trust. So always having upfront communication and just reiterating to your client, like things like, how they want to be vested in title, their name, just to make sure at the beginning for them to decide that and know what they want. Late credits, again, dealing with the lender, and most of the time in Southern California, there's a loan involved that needs to get submitted to the lenders and approved and all of that. So those are the consequences if you don't know upfront. How to avoid those is, like I said, finalize decisions early and communicate as soon as possible. So the key is always to, be ahead of the game, talk to your client, keep an open communication line with them, but getting them set up for expectations of certain things. If you guys avoid those, it can be for a smoother transaction. So just my closing thoughts, stay ahead of the 5 pitfalls. Escrow will run smoother and clients will be happier, and keep me in mind for your stress-free transaction. Does anyone have any questions?
So, Anne, do you sometimes, when they have the preliminary title report, do you ever go through it and help your clients understand what the preliminary title is all about?
Yeah. So when you say that, it depends on who asks. So if it's the agent that needs help, yes, of course, we can review the prelim. Typically, like for me, I like my agents to contact me when they're getting the listing and having me involved when they order the prelim. So then if I get it before it opens escrow, I'll help them review it, right? So then if I find something different than what they told me to prepare the net sheet, I will also let the agent know. For example, the client tells the agent at the listing appointment, well, I only have 1 lead, right? And then we order the prelim, a listing prelim, and we see that there is an equity line of credit on the second. So yeah, those are things that we would let them know. If it's the buyer or seller, we kind of work based on the agent's preference. Some agents don't like us calling the client. And I understand that because there's some sales involved. So as long as we take the lead from the agent, if the agent's like, Anne, can you call my client so you can sit and review the prelim? I will get on the call and go over it one by one with them. So that with the actual buyer and seller, it's based on the agent. But yeah, of course, with the agents, we will directly communicate that with them.
That's good. And sometimes it helps to identify the red flags that appears in the preliminary title, and then you can call the title officer and clear that up before it
correct.
Comes to
no, I agree, Peter. If they can get and sometimes I know you can order a prelim, but I think I don't know if the title rep is here still, but you can get like a preliminary property profile with all the open stuff on there without ordering a prelim. I would suggest agents get that before the listing appointment, because I'm going to tell you, it will make them look like a rock star. Yeah. They go there and they tell the clients, well, I've already done some due diligence on your property, and I see that you didn't pay your taxes. So there, in closing, you're going to have to pay these unpaid property tax. Or, you find like there's a city lien or, whatever the case may be, but you actually look like, the client feels important because they're like, wow, this agent came and already knows how many open mortgages I have, if there's unpaid taxes and all that.
Well, that's good. Good advice. Good advice. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Anne? No? Okay, well, if not, then we'll go on with our meeting. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, David.
Anitra, why can't we use cashier's checks for a good faith deposit? Why do we always have to wire?
Well, times have changed, right? Times have changed. So typically, wire is funds are good right away. So if you as an agent knows that I get it. A client can walk in and get a cashier's check. I mean, the newest way to do things is by wire. As soon as the wire's there, the funds are good. So there can be exceptions. Like I know most escrow companies standard now, they say wire only. But I'll give you an example. Because there's a lot of check fraud, even cashier's checks can be fraud. Okay. So you get a check in 2 days before closing. Sometimes those funds can later find out that they were stolen funds. You know, money laundering, there's so much bank fraud like that. So when you have wire funds, it's good funds right away. There's no, you know, mistake. So that's essentially the reason.
Okay, that's a very good answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ann. All right, if no more question, we'll go on with our meeting. I do have a few announcements. As you know, that this Wednesday we'll have a very, very nice lunch and learn from New Omni Bank, and they promise to furnish lobster sandwich for lunch. So that's very good. But you do have to indicate or RSVP for the meeting, because they have to know who's coming and who's not, so that they can order how many sandwiches we have to purchase. So RSVP to Michelle is this Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Okay, I hope to see you there. And then this Friday we also have a treat for you. We have invited a very experienced 1031 exchange company coming to teach us the ins and outs about the 1031 exchange, especially the Delaware statutory trust, short name as a DST. And they also have connections with the lenders, with investors, and so you can help your clients have 1031 exchange and also get financing, get the investment, and get investment properties. So there will be a pretty good connection with them this Friday. So this is going to be a Friday at 1 o'clock training on that 1031 exchange. And then I'm excited to tell you that on September 19th, we have another mixer in our company, and all the affiliates are invited. And also this time we include the other agents from other brokerages. So if you have worked with other agents in the other brokerage, and then you're comfortable inviting them to the mixer, you're welcome to. And this is a good time to mingle with them and to socialize with them and to get a more connection with them. So it's going to be on Friday, September 19th from 3 to 5. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, hope everybody can make it. Okay, with that, I would now like to call Michelle to tell us the listings and the sales in the company. Michelle?
So we have a couple of weeks. So for the new escrows, we have Nina Shu on 168 Monterey Street, number 209, 848. Nina Shu again on Monterey Street, number 213 for 640. So moving to this week, we have 735 Arcadia Avenue, 3250 a month, Sharon Chow. That was a residential lease. 757 North Orange, 790,000. Nick Nguyen was the selling agent. 1155 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena was a residential lease for Camilla at 6,300 a month. 419 North Chandler, Monterey Park, Nina and Tatiana for 720,000. 17851 Near Band Drive in Roland Heights. Christine Finn was the selling agent at 1.145. 2920 Covina Street in Los Angeles, selling agent Emilio Campos, 798. So now we'll go to the new listings weekly report. And again, it's going to be a couple of weeks. So, because we weren't here last Monday. So we have 2809 Los Feliz Circle number 207 in Palm Springs, a condo at 169 Carlos Ruiz. And let me go to the next week. And then 230 South Garfield Avenue is a commercial lease by Shumay and Harrison Cam at $555 a month. 419 North Chandler Avenue, 411, 690 Nina and Tatiana. 1757 Crystal Canyon Drive in Azusa, Lorraine Goosen at 575. 419 North Chandler, 616. That is Nina and Tatiana for 720. Closing escrows for the last couple of weeks. Okay. 218 North Nicholson in Monterey Park, Mandy Zhang. It's an income property at 3.450. 3165 Atwater Avenue in Los Angeles, 825,000. Income property, that was listing agent Eric Toe. 11471 Azure View in Pinion Hills, residential cell Annie Sai, 510,000. 168 South Monterey in Alhambra, number 403 Nina Shu, 910,000. And another one at 419 North Chandler, 422 Nina and Tatiana closed that one at 680. 189 North Nicholson Avenue, Shumay and Harrison, 817,500. For last week's 168 South Monterey, 213. That was Nina Shu at 640 closing. 168 Monterey, 522. Nina Shu, 961. Water Drive, it was a vacant lot that was closed by Karina Peng, 25,800. 2200 San Gabriel Boulevard in Rosemead. Shumay Cam, commercial closing at 850. 17523 Kalima Road, City of Industry. This is a commercial lease. Shumay Cam with a value of $3,038,000 for the leasing price. 500 North Atlantic Boulevard in Monterey Park, Shumay Cam for $139,000. Lease closed. And I hate to keep beating this, but I have to tell the bank by noon. Those of you who jumped in after I asked earlier about the sandwiches, if you're coming Wednesday, please put in the chat box yes, so I can order you a sandwich. Thank you all very much. It was a fantastic couple of weeks. We're so happy, and we're glad to see you all in the office.
Thank you, Michelle. As Michelle said, we had a very busy couple of weeks. And that's a good news, we see a lot of agents coming in and they're working very hard. And I would like to thank them for their hard work and also their support. And as John said, that we have 2 solid months for this year. So this is time to wrap up your engines and do some business before the year end. So I hope we can keep the momentum and we will have a good year for 2025. At least should be better than 2024. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Good job. Okay. Now, any other agents want to share the listings or any reduction in price that they want to share? This is about time. This is the time to share. Anybody? Nobody want to say anything? Okay, if nobody want to say anything, I would like to do my presentation today, and there's something that I want to share with you. So let me share. Oh, wait a minute. Share. Well, where's the share screen? Okay. Okay, I would like to talk to you about the violations, DRE violations. As you know, we have a new commissioner for the DRE, and the new commissioner used to be the head of the enforcement. So she is very adamant in enforcing the violations of the real estate agents, because she wants to protect the public. She wants to make sure that everything that going on with the licensees are transparent and they're in compliance with the regulations. So in this BRE issue, they emphasize the licensing violations, and I would like to share with you so that you know what they are and not and also how to avoid them. Okay. So as I said, in order to protect the general interest of the public, the DRE is very diligent in enforcing the violations of the DRE violations. So and the first one of very important consequences is the trust fund account and the recovery and the records keeping violations. As you know that when you're handling fund for others, you have to handle it very carefully, because you're handling somebody else's money, and it's not just because of your property management or in a real estate brokerage. Even if you are a real estate agent, when you're handling the funds of the security deposits or your commission checks or anything that any money belong to your client, then you are handling others' money. So if you put their money into something someplace, you have to put it in a trust fund, and the trust fund has to be with the bank or with any financial institutions where they can easily check and trace the funds that you put in. So when you're handling the money, make sure that you handle it very transparently, very diligently, and so that you don't get into violations. Believe me, if you have just have an account that is a trust fund account, and you don't have enough fund in the account, that is an automatic triggering for auditing, because when you don't have money in the bank, that means that you're using your client's money for something else. That's just a big red flag. And it's an automatic triggering of auditing for that trust account. And so there's the sections in the California Business and Professional Codes regulations. You can find the violations of trust fund is listed here. There are six sections of the regulations. So if you want to know about it, you can go in and look at it. I'm not going to spend time in detailing it today. The best practice to handle the best fund would be to keep the trust fund in a separate account. So you cannot commingle the account at all. So if you have a business account of your company, you cannot use the business account of the company as a trust fund account. You have to totally have a separate account with a separate name, with a separate ID, tax ID number, and with a separate management of the fund. And also you have to maintain detailed records and all the deposits, all the expenses that from the trust account must be very well documented. And if you violate the detailed record regulations, and you're automatically being audited. And also you deposit the fund promptly. You don't, when you get the money from your client, you don't keep it in your pocket for over extended time, more than a couple of days. You have to deposit the fund into the trust account promptly. within a very reasonable time, within a couple of days. Okay, so don't just put in your pocket for a couple of weeks and then expect it to pass the regulations. And also, the most important thing is to avoid commingling. In other words, you don't commingle your account with your business, with the trust account with your business account. They have to be totally separated. And so in other words, the funds from the trust account should not go into the company account and vice versa. So if you have a commingling, that's an automatic audit also. Another thing is that you have to reconcile regularly. I don't know you, but a lot of even for me, some of my bank accounts I don't reconcile every month diligently. So, but for the trust account, you must reconcile regularly. You must reconcile every month, and the detail, if there's any difference or discrepancy, you have to correct it right away. You cannot wait. Okay, and so make sure that you reconcile your trust account every month, and also stay vigilant. You have to supervise the trust account handling very closely, and when in doubt, seek a professional assistance and training in the trust fund management. If you want to know how to manage your trust fund management, you have to seek a professional advice. And also, you should ensure that compliance, everything that you do with a trust account must be meticulously handled so that you won't get into any violations of law, because there's a very hefty penalty for violations of the trust account handling. And then the second violation, most common violation, is the failure to supervise. Now, it's not just the supervising brokers that has this kind of duty. Even if you are a real estate agent, when you are using other people's help, like you're help asking somebody to help you do it with their open house, and you employ some unlicensed personnel to help your accountings, and those people that you employ or engage, you are responsible for supervising them. So for those people, you have to diligently make sure that they are performing the duty accordingly, and also legally, and also diligently and transparently. And if you don't, you're in violation of the duty to supervise. And the codes that you can find the violation is in the section, the two sections here stated here. I'm not going to get into the details also. So you can, if you want to read about it, you can go and read about it also. And the best practice for handling this kind of violation is to be an active supervisor, and you you act like you are a supervisor. You're whatever they do, you have to be you have to know what they did, what they do, and what they are going to do. And then being active supervisor on them, and give them good supervising advices, and also conduct regular review of what they are doing, and make sure that they are complying with the law, and also provide proper training and support. And that's very important, because a lot of times they don't know what they should do, and being the supervisor should direct them into the right direction, and give them necessary support if necessary, and also stay involved. And when you engage somebody to be your helper, or somebody that they work with you, then you have to get involved. You cannot just be passive, because you do have the duty to supervise them, and to be working with them, and be doing proper things with them. Okay, the third one is the unlicensed activity. Now, as you know that in order to do the real estate activity, you have to be licensed in California. And if you engage somebody to do your open house and that require some real estate knowledge and real estate activity, then that person has to be licensed. Okay, so now of course you can get some helper to just help you to do the paperwork and to handle the paper to the customers in the open house. But as soon as they want to get involved with the knowledge of the property or to do anything that requires the real estate license, then that person has to be licensed. And if they are not licensed, then you're in a violation of the DRE rules, and then you can be disciplined. And so, you know, when you hire somebody to help you with the paperwork, with the transaction of the deals, then that person, if they have to do some real estate related activities, then that person has to be licensed. Okay, so this sometimes it's kind of a fine lines. So you have to be careful whether you can hire somebody unlicensed to do your work for you. So make it very careful. And the two sections that you can get the insight into is the two sections here stated here. And the best practice will be, you know, when you're asking somebody to help, make sure that you verify their license and make sure that their license is valid and currently valid. And then you have to verify their license regularly, and you have to track their continuing education, whether they apply with the continuing education requirement, and also to make sure that if you getting the help from an unlicensed person, to make sure that they don't perform any licensed activities at all. Okay, so that is very important. If there's somebody reported you to the DLE for employing some unlicensed person to do a licensed activity, and you're in big trouble. Then your license can be suspended also. And also another thing that you have to remember is that when you're supervising the restricted license, you have to be very careful, because the restricted license will require additional supervision, and then you have to make sure that that they are constantly under your supervision. Otherwise, when they get into the violation of any rules, they can implement that. I mean, it can implicate it to you too, and then you'll be in trouble. And if you have to go to the disciplinary hearing, I'm sure that they will drag you into the disciplinary hearing, and your license can be affected too. So be careful when you are hiring the restricted licensee to do your work. And the fourth violation is the misrepresentation violation. As you know, being a real estate license, you are supposed to be transparent. You're supposed to be honest. You're supposed to be have the fiduciary duty to your clients. So any representation or non-disclosure of material facts will constitute a misrepresentation, and this can trigger the misrepresentation violations. And so anything that you say to your client, make sure it's truthful and transparent. Okay, you can find you can read about that in the section 10176A in the California Business and Professional Code. And so the best practice will be always verify your facts, make sure that you're speaking the truth, and then also disclose everything that is material. Remember, anything that is important for the transaction is important for the value of the property. Those are material facts. So you have to disclose those material facts under any circumstances. And then to protect your integrity, you have to be truthful and make sure that you disclose all the material facts and make sure that you perform the fiduciary duties to your client and make sure that everything is transparent. Okay. And the fifth one is the criminal conviction violation. As you know, for any federal conviction, you have to report that to your DRE within 30 days. Okay. And if you break that violation, the DRE can come after you for the license. Okay. And sometimes you think that, well, DUI is a misdemeanor and it's not a federal crime, so I report it. The good rule of thumb is that you report it anyway, because there are circumstances in the DUI, violations that can come up to be material for the DLE regulations and rules and regulations. And so you should, I suggest that you should report it anyway, even though it's not a felony. Okay, so but anyway, during your renewal of license, you should report all the misdemeanor or federal crimes or anything that you get convicted or disciplinary actions. You also should be reporting that too. So in order to be clear of this violation, you should be diligent in reporting all the criminal conviction, including DUI, including the disciplinary actions, and okay, all right. And you can find the relevant information in the section 10186.2. And the best practice will, as I said before, to any conviction, criminal complaints, or information or indictment charging federal or disciplinary action within 30 days. Okay, and then you use the form that you use is RE 238. It's a simple form to fill out. You fill it out and file with the DRE, and that will be usually that will be the end of the reporting. And so and also you should if you have a pending criminal charges, be reported to DRE when you renew your license as well. There's 6 violations: advertising, first point of contact, team names, and use of fictitious business names, a violation. So this is cover all the violation for false advertisement, for misconduct between the your communication about your team names, about your use of fictitious business names and things like that. So this has to be truthful, and it cannot be false advertisement or fraudulent misrepresentation. And those the codes that you can find relevant information too regarding those areas, and you can read it at your spare time if you want. So the best practice will that you have to for all the advertisement, you have to be truthful. It cannot be any misleading or any fraudulent advertisement. And then if for team names, if you're working as a team or any fictitious name that you use, you make sure that you have a properly registered with the county and also properly registered with the DRE. Okay, and yeah, if they are not properly registered, you cannot use the fictitious name at all. And also, you should clarify the team structures. You're working if you are working in a team, and follow this specific disclosure requirements. Also, always disclose your license number and broker's affiliation in all advertising material. Okay, so that's very important. So the key takeaway for this lecture is to educate yourself and your own your team, because there's a lot of rules and regulations and real estate laws and regulations, and those should be updated and follow up and educated to your team and to you and to your team actually, and implement a strong system. So make sure that you establish clear office procedure for record keeping, supervision, and compliance checks. So if you're working in the team, so you should have some guidelines and policies, procedures, and stuff like that. All their brokerages should have that policy and procedure, regulations. We in our company, we have that. And if you want to know about it and to educate yourself, you can come to Michelle and I will be glad to furnish you with the rules and regulations of the company. Okay, and also stay transparent, disclose all required information to avoid a liability and protect your reputation. And transparency is the key. You have to be transparent to all parties of all the material information. And lastly, be very proactive. You address potential issue before they become violations, and that is so important. And that will avoid a lot of unnecessary mistakes and missteps and mishaps. Being proactive is the way to do it. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you. The violations. I hope you have a general idea and not get into trouble with the DLE. Okay, any questions at all? When it comes to violation, everybody is so quiet, they are afraid to get into violations. I can understand. But anyway, if you have any question later on, Michelle and I will be here to help you. That's what we are here for, to help you and to support you. Okay.
Thank you, Peter.
Sure, you still be.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm sorry to get over time a little bit. If there's no question, I wish you a very nice week, and and I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Have a
Okay.
great
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Bye, John. Bye.
Okay,
Yeah,
bye,
thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Good
you.
information.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle.